So for the team, we have Ralph Betesh, another one of our top teams, playing lands in Legacy. So, Jeskai Control, the middle seat from Ben Nikolich, and John Rosum playing green-black Constrictor. Now their opponents, Paul Lynch on Miracles, Paul Muller on Gift Storm. That shouldn't surprise anyone. We saw him do very well with that earlier just last year. And Hagen McHenry playing Mardu Vehicles.
Yeah, Paul Muller, of course, an open champion with the Gift Storm deck.
Right.
Benjamin Nikolich, a champion with the Jeskai Control deck. Jonathan Rosum winning last weekend's Team Open. Was not the standard player for that tournament, though. He was playing Modern Humans.
That's wild, right? You win a Team Open and then switch formats?
Switch teams, switch
teams
formats.
And formats? What are you doing?
No fear.
I mean, that's either really a bad move or it means you're just really good.
Or your team really didn't like playing with you.
Yeah, we're still out. I mean, thanks for the tournament, but we're out. That's pretty great. John Rosum on a mulligan here consults with teammate Nikolich about his 6. Looks like he's going to keep.
To begin our next commander event.
Toolcraft Exemplar is going to be the first play here for Hagen McHenry. Now, Mardu Vehicles actually really well performing last weekend.
The winning deck.
Yeah, Julian John was playing it as the winning deck. We've seen very little of it today. Toolcraft Exemplar, Heart of Kiran. Is there a fatal push on Rosum's side? There is not. He'll take 3, go to 17.
And this starts the reason to play the deck. So you'd like to have a concealed courtyard instead of double Inspiring Vantage. Some refer to Mardu Vehicles as a combo deck. The combo is turn 1 Inspiring Vantage, turn 2 Concealed Courtyard.
Walking Ballista from John. Now, he may want to use this sooner rather than later so that Heart of Kiran can't be crewed by Toolcraft Exemplar.
You might see him wait just for the Exemplar trigger to go on the stack.
Sure. And that'd be the last window he'd have for it. It's going to be Bomat Courier for Hagen. And Scrap Heap Scrounger. A lot of early pressure from the Mardu Vehicles deck.
Magic players, just a reminder that we do have.
Not that it particularly matters on this battlefield, but this is the artifact threshold for the Exemplar to get first strike in combat.
All right, trigger on. Ballista will shoot down Toolcraft Exemplar, but Scrounger is going to drive the Heart of Kiran for 4 damage, and Bomat Courier will get in for a 5th. So Rosum down to 12. His play here going to be Jade Light Ranger. 2-1, it explores twice. Here's Vraska's Contempt. He'll keep that on top and make his creature into a 4-3, passes back to McHenry.
4-3 is still big enough to get in front of the Bomat Courier. You don't really want to block Scrap Heap Scrounger, and you can't block Heart of Kiran.
Ooh, and here is Hazaret. Hagen down to 1 card, so the 5-4, she can attack this turn. You know, Mardu is still really scary. When it curves out, this deck is just a nightmare.
Yeah, this is turn 4.
Yeah. And John got rid of the Toolcraft Exemplar. And we see Scrounger and Hazaret attacking. Scrounger will trade with Jade Light Ranger. John takes 5 from Hazaret, goes to 7. Bomat Courier staying home. Rosum draws. He draws that Vraska's Contempt he kept on top, so that will answer Hazaret. So he plays Aether Hub.
It's interesting to attack with the Scrounger over crewing the Heart. You kind of want that get that creature off the ground so you can start attacking with the Bomat Courier and get more cards under that. So McHenry did kind of like that trade.
Main phase, he'll probably Vraska's Contempt away the Hazaret. He does not want that crewing a vehicle, so John will go up to 9. Go back over to Hagen McHenry. Right now he just has 1 damage. Draws looks like a land, so 2 cards in hand. Down to 1. We'll see what his last one is. Well, maybe nothing, but he has black mana for Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Yeah, Dragon Skull Summit actually a really good draw.
Yeah. Heart of Kiran crewed, swing for 5. 2nd card under Bomat Courier. And he'll pass.
Rosum at 4. The Heart is lethal.
Yeah, can't do it. So game 1 goes over to Hagen McHenry here. The blitzing strategy from Mardu Vehicles is successful here.
Unfortunately, no deserts were activated.
The Bomat Courier gets sacrificed. So close. So close. All right, well, players are going to shuffle up for game number 2. We'll get ready, bring you back there and talk about the sideboards in just a minute. back here. Our standard match, John Rosum and Hagen McHenry, sideboarding here. They're the only ones who finished game 1. It was a blitz from Hagen's Mardu Vehicles deck, and John was not able to keep up.
Is it turn 5 or is it turn 6? It was fast.
He was fast. Hazaret attacked. He attacked with Hazaret on turn 4, swung on turn 5, and then John's conceded. So, on John Rossum's side, 4 Duress, 2 Deadeye Tracker, 2 Gontis, 2 Vraskas, an Aethersphere Harvester, a Lifecrafter's Bestiary, a Naturalize, a Tetzamok, and a Thrashing Brontodon. He's actually got a lot of game for the Mardu Vehicles deck.
Yeah, a couple neat tools to answer the vehicles themselves. The Thrashing Brontodon and the Naturalize can both deal with any vehicle. Aethersphere Harvester enters combat very well with most of the cards in McHenry's deck, so that one should be coming in. The rest of the cards here are quite a bit less good. You can go for Vraska Relic Seeker if you feel like you can make the game go long.
Yeah.
Matchups like this where you expect to do a lot of trading in combat, Gonti, Lord of Luxury, can actually be pretty powerful just because it has Death Touch on the ground.
Well, it's okay.
It's not good against Hazaret or
Yeah.
Flyers, so there's that.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much it actually trades with at this point.
A turn 4 answer to 2 Craft Exemplar is not the most exciting thing.
Yeah, certainly I'd want Gonti in something like a black-green mirror. Now, on Hagen's side, he's got 3 Duress, 2 Abrade, 2 Fumigate, 2 Huatli Warrior Poets, 2 Magma Sprays, a Cast Out, a Chandra Torch of Defiance, a Scavenger Grounds, and Settle the Wreckage.
So against the mid-range black-green decks, you kind of want answers to large creatures. So the Cast Out seems pretty good here. The Abrades are good enough. Dealing with Windy Constrictor, you know that Rosum's on that on turn 2. That's pretty meaningful. You saw the Ballista, so you can assume that one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Trying to Torch Defiance isn't bad here. Rest of the stuff looks okay. You could go for Fumigate. Frequently you will see the Mardu Vehicle deck go on a more controlling row, pull sideboard.
Right, they'll cut some of the lower end stuff, and if they have Sweepers and Planeswalkers, go toward them.
And once you're playing Fumigate, Huatli makes a lot more sense.
Now, that was their strategy back when they were a Gideon-based deck. Now, in this build, really, Hazaret has taken the Gideon slot. It does bend it way more aggressive.
Yeah.
Where I don't know as if they try to do that as much.
Fumigate Hazaret doesn't really work on a converted mana cost breakdown where it's hard to have an empty hand when you have a lot of 4s and 5s. But Fumigate when you control Hazaret, that's kind of nice.
Turn 2, Winding Constrictor is going to be the first play from John Rosum. Both players keeping on 7 here for the second game. It's going to be Veteran Motorist for Hagen McHenry. See in hand, it looks like he's got 3 Spires of Industry, a Hazaret, and I believe a Magma Spray, and then Aethersphere Harvester.
I think it's Pian Alar is the red card.
Okay. That would be a lot better here, so hopefully it is.
Yeah, it's going to take some time to get all those lands out of the hand. Magma Spray also not great against a Winding Constrictor.
No, he scries both to the bottom and will pass. No artifact yet for all those Spires either. Does have a Harvester in hand, so he'll get black mana later on. So go back over to John Rosum. The black-green deck, we can see the damage it can do here. Now, he getting to untap with Winding Constrictor, there's going to be some very powerful plays. See, we'll start with Merfolk Branchwalker.
That's a 4/3.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable.
That's what they call cross-block synergies.
It's a Naturalize on top. Interesting to see whether or not John keeps it. It's a good card against the Mardu deck, but Hagen has not made an artifact just yet.
Depending how good his hand is, if he already has something like a Fatal Push or like 2 Fatal Push, and you really don't care too much about Naturalize.
Yeah, he'll keep it there. And then go ahead and go for the Fatal Push, it looks like. That'll shoot it down. Winding Constrictor swings in for 2. And land, Aethersphere Harvester. So a reward here for John. He kept the Naturalize on top. Hagen just has to still cast the Harvester into it, but it's answered. So draws Naturalize. He has land 4 here.
Yeah, Hagen just didn't have other plays available. because the Branch Walker did not find a land and because of the Winding Constrictor, that's another creature that you can't Magma Spray. That card a very disappointing draw in this game.
Naturalizes away the Harvester after hitting Hagen down to 12, passes the turn. A Fumigate the draw from McHenry, so that's not bad here. It could get him back into the game.
It's going to need a second white source. An artifact would do it because of these spires. Right now, the Inspiring Vantage is the only thing producing white.
Here's Hazaret. That's not going to help him too much. Hagen McHenry's teammate, Paul Lynch, over on the Legacy table, playing Miracles. He wins game 1 over Ralph Betesh. A swing again puts Hagen down to 6. A land and Thrashing Brontodon. So if he can top deck the white source, then John has walked into this one. Does he hit? It is.
That's a red-black land.
I think that's Dragon Skull Summit. So close. And it actually turns out that Naturalize is the difference maker here.
Yeah. Yeah, the Hazaret would have been able to crew that Harvester.
Yeah, well, also he just would have white mana.
Yeah, that too.
Close. And Mardu has been a deck where, in order to aggressively curve out with 3 colors of cards, it has mana problems.
It does.
The loss of Thraben Inspector was...
That was felt.
That was felt, yeah. Over on the Modern table, Ben Nikolich playing Jeskai Control. He takes game 1 over Paul Muller's Storm. So all the game 1's now in.
Nikolich has certainly played against Storm many times with his Jeskai Control deck.
Hagen will cycle. There's a white land. It's going to come into play tapped. He can make this play, but yeah, there's just no way to survive until the Fumigate. So you see Hagen McHenry picks up the cards. They're going to go to game number 3.
I think Rosum drew a Haship Oasis too.
No, it was in his hand. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I saw it.
That's messed up. Not that he needed to activate it, but like maybe he would.
The worst part with that score for you is not only do they have to play it, but then they have to activate it. Like, I don't, he plays 2. I don't know how often he uses them. I think if near Deadlands is your best bet.
Yeah, in this matchup, probably not too often. Yeah, he does have some Deadlands here. Deadlands is a good one to activate. It's a little slow.
All right, well, all three games are shuffling right now, going into 2, 2, and 3. So we'll take a short break, and then we'll be back with the conclusion of Hagen McHenry versus John Rosum. All right, so we're back here for game number 3. So players just finishing up a shuffle here. Hagen McHenry, we know he has boarded in at least one of his Fumigates. Looks like he wants to take a more controlling route, but not by too much. For example, Veteran Motorist still in the deck.
I saw in his opening hand a Magma Spray that he never had a good target for the entire game. On the play, you might see him go a little bit more aggressive again. Well, that is certainly more matchup dependent than play draw dependent.
Yeah, it's like hand dependent. I feel like with these decks, especially with Mardu vehicles, you're a mid-range deck, so your roll switches, but you don't get to pick how it switches. You just kind of look at your hand and play it the way it tells you to play it.
Yeah, these are the cards I drew.
If it's fumigates, I'm probably gonna try to fumigate you, and if it's if it's attackers, I'm gonna attack you.
I can't attack with fumigate, so I suppose I will destroy all the creatures.
And I like how your threats don't even like require a pivot. So it's like, well, my curve out is Heart of Kiran into Hazaret, so I'm actually gonna still curve out my creatures before I fumigate.
Yeah.
So that's fine too.
Right. Bring back this scrappy scrounger.
Yeah, it's not like because I have the fumigate, I'm gonna not play my things. Goodness.
And for Rosum, the green-black deck's going to keep doing green-black things. 1-for-1 trades, large creatures. Nothing beats rock.
Yeah. When they're able to see here. Paul Muller will be on the play here playing Storm. Losing game 1 against Jeskai is not a great feeling for him.
No. The blue mid-range deck in Modern tend to be one of the tougher matchups for the Storm deck. I suppose even just the black ones, the Juns, can be tough as well.
And how do you feel about Jeskai Control right now? We're actually seeing a lot of players pick it up for this event, especially with the Pro Tour coming up next week. I think it's a point where I'm noticing it.
Yeah, it's been very prevalent, putting up some results for sure. You really just kind of want to dodge the Tron matchup.
Yes.
You have a good amount of play against pretty much everything else, though.
You're great against Burn. Burn's been picking up in popularity.
Yeah.
Good against Affinity, Storm.
Yeah, the deck
You're right.
is...
Tron's really rough, though.
Right. Yeah, if you want to play blue cards in Modern, you just kind of adopt the fact that you're going to be miserable every time you see the cards Urza's Tower.
Well, any of the big mana decks, the scape shift decks aren't particularly good for you either.
Depends on your configuration, but yes,
Yeah.
Jeskai is going to struggle
tools.
a bit. They have Rune Halo, which is pretty strong.
Yeah, there's tools. It's big mana is the way to attack the deck.
I have Spell Snared Mini of Farseek. It is very satisfying.
Oh yeah, that's great. I don't like it when my Farseeks get spell snared.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the play.
Yeah. It's like I want to play my cards fast.
I want you to play your cards.
I need my
not at
Primeval
all.
Titan before you have your Cryptic Command, not after.
Right, that's the ideal time.
Yeah. All right. So, Hagen on the play. Starts out turn 1 Plains. This is our game 3 here. Mardu Vehicles versus Green-Black Constrictor. And Booming Marsh. So we're going to see Scrap Heap Scrounger. And, just the way his matchup works out, you see John Rosum just quickly is going to push the Scrounger anyway.
Just got to buy some time so you can get online.
Winding Constrictor is the play. No guarantee that Hagen even has black mana or mana at all. You see him just pass back the turn here.
Yikes.
Especially in this kind of matchup, even one land drop can be a disaster if it's missed. Glintsleeve Siphoner from Rosum with Constrictor will make 2 energy. He plays a Foul Orchard, is that right? Yeah,
I believe so.
He does have one. Okay. And another pass for Hagen. This could be a quick game here.
Yeah, with the premier removal spell of the format right now really being Vraska's Contempt, the more time you get these black mid-range decks to set up, the harder time you are going to have getting back into the game.
Yeah, and especially because of Winding Constrictor, this Glintsleeve Siphoner is drawing a card every turn. He attacks, it made 2 energy the turn he made it, and he's getting 2 energy per attack. And you see Jadelight Ranger getting 4 counters. Winding Constrictor is still really powerful in the right deck.
Yeah.
Hagen draws, but he needs to have 3 lands into Fumigate, and that's probably not enough. Heart of Kiran's the play. That's certainly not going to be enough.
Right.
The swing here is already 10 from Rosum. As long as he doesn't just activate a Hash Up Oasis right now. Or, yeah, that'd be bad. Don't do that.
I think it's one shy of lethal.
Okay, if it was lethal, he might do it.
Yeah, it's only for 13 if he has that. If it put a +1/+1 counters on the creature, it'd be different.
I swing in for 10. More energy. Hagen down to 4. More cards, Merfolk, more counters. Oh yeah, just 3 this time. Draw for McHenry and a land. There we go, right on time. Plays the 3. He needs Bantu's Last Reckoning right now. Doesn't have it. So, game and match go to John Rosum. Looking to repeat. He was your winner last week. After 2 losses to start the day, he wins his match, and now he needs a teammate to help him out.
Rosum drew the Oasis again.
Yeah.
I saw it.
The card's just not that good.
Just doesn't even play it.
Yeah, he never even played them, did he?
Just
he
keeps
kept
him in his hand. He's trying to save me.
You'll have to coach him, you know?
Yeah.
Be like, hey,
you see this card? When you draw it, activate it immediately.
That's how it's played. We're going to move over to the modern match, where John's teammate Ben Nikolich is up 1-0 on Paul Muller. Now, if you didn't watch the Open where Paul Muller won, he is a seasoned pilot of Blue-Red Giftstorm. Very good at the deck, but he is in an uphill matchup and an uphill match. He is against Jeskai, and he's down a game. We'll go ahead and get you over there in just a second.
Yeah, we got a game 2 underway here. They've been at it for a bit here.
I'm looking now for a square storm count of 8. 3 plus spells in the stack, that's probably not happening. That could happen.
Yeah, that was actually not unreasonable. If you see Paul cast a spell, Nikolich counter it, Paul remands it. That's a relatively common line.
Okay, those are warrior tokens. We're grabbing warrior tokens, I've been told. Go over to Nikolich. So Paul Muller tapped out here. We look like we're on Nikolich's turn, land number 6. He has 3 cards in hand, swings for 3. These are likely made off of Secure the Wastes.
I'm pretty sure that we just came in on a turn after a stack that definitely had 3 spells. If you look at the graveyards here.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah.
Dispel in Nikolich's graveyard, a remand in Muller's.
And right now, just passing back, Muller gets 1 more fight over the combo. He gets to decide when it is, but he's taking 3 a turn. But Nikolich unlikely to make a move until then.
Nikolich has a lot of lands and only 3 cards in hand.
That can be good depending on what we're fighting over. You see an end-step Gifts Ungiven from Muller. That's gonna resolve, okay.
One of the cards that Nikolich is holding is Detention Sphere. It protects him against goblins. It's much less good against Grape Shot.
Yeah. Muller fighting for his team's life here. If he loses this game, his team is out of the tournament.
Yeah, plenty of cards in Muller's hand. He's actually up quite a bit on that front.
Yeah, I don't mind the cards. Now, he generally on the big turn, you'd like to have a couple more lands in play. I don't like that he's down 3 land.
Yeah. If you're
but
not,
that's not horrible.
If you're not able to start resolving rituals, you're going to have some mana issues on the combo turn. And little deliberation here. Looks like Paul's going for a big ritual pile. He has a Gigadrouse that he's brought in.
I like that.
He's a bit light on mana for that one to be a huge card.
Yeah, you actually just have a lot of lands for it because the replicate cost requires all blue. So when you're ritualing, you don't get blue mana. You have to see Gigadrouse with things like storage lands as a really powerful play.
Yeah. Yeah, that used to be pretty popular.
And play it in High Tide sometimes because it's good in a counter war and all your mana was just blue.
In Modern, you most commonly, and I'm using the word commonly pretty liberally here, see it in the Taking Turns deck.
Yeah, that's another. I mean, really, we're talking mono blue is generally the deck that can use it.
Right. Though most of the Storm deck's lands do tap for blue mana, the issue is you generally don't have a lot of them. But when your opponent's counterspells cost 4 mana, Cryptic Command, or Snapcaster Mage for some counter spell. You don't need to tap all of their lands. Yeah, Muller's been mulling over a couple potential piles.
Yeah.
Might have gone for a land-heavy pile.
That's what he did, yes. So we have Island, Snow Cover Island. Nice. Mountain and Shivan Reef. You know, that's one of the things where I would talk with friends about deck building, like, oh, you got to put in the Snow Cover regular split in case you gifts for him. And I kind of roll my eyes, and I'm like, that doesn't... Okay, maybe. But he actually did it.
I mean, this is the fetchless version, but if you're playing fetches, you have like Steam Vents, Scalding Tarn, Island Mountain. It's not like there's not 4 different lands. You don't want to find Spire Bluff Canal in that mix.
No.
So you do want to have a 5th kind of land.
No, it's correct. You know, it's funny that it actually happened.
Yeah.
That's all.
It comes up.
Well, evidently. He bins both the islands, which, man, if you're worried about Giga Drows, that's a pretty heads-up play.
Yeah.
So go back to Muller. Getting 2 lands suggests to me that this is not his combo turn, because you wouldn't get 2 lands if you're going to only play 1. Like, you do something else. You just get fast mana.
Possibly. I mean, if you gives for any lands, it has to be 4, right?
No, you can just put 1 in. That's fine. 2 is kind of strange. Once you're on 2, it's probably 4.
Sure.
1 is okay.
Yeah, if you have 1,
like 3 rituals
like, I guess
and
I'm fine if you don't give me this land.
3 rituals and a land. Like, if you don't have the land drop in your hand, the land is functionally another ritual.
If you're worried that Nikolich is just going to counter your first 2 rituals, though, that pile doesn't get you out of that.
That's true. So we go back to Paul here. Plays the Shivan Reef. They know a mountain is still in his hand. See Hagen McHenry looking on. And here we go. Turn starts with Manamorphose.
Great one to start on, as it replaces itself.
Storms at 1. Yeah, we're getting out the counters. Okay. We gotta get 8. Yeah.
Count at least 5 spells in the hand.
Yeah, I think we can do it. I don't know about 3 spells on the stack. The problem is they just, like, resolve.
Yeah.
Manamorphose. Storms at 2. Draws. Any chance. Grape Shot. Storm. No. That means you're done. Boo.
Plague Wind.
Boo. You need to play 5 more. Takes care of all the 1/1s.
Well, he's buying time, and he has some pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, he's not going for them just yet, however. I mean,
He doesn't want to just cast it here. You might be able to draw a remand
Yeah.
and pieces and remand it if it gets Cryptic Commanded. I like the
that's
patience.
gross. End step Snapcaster Mage. Going to target, secure the waste. Yeah, Ben says, all right, you got rid of my creatures, I'll make more. Here's
And
4/1.
Activate Colonnade makes this lethal.
Yeah, and Storm doesn't have much of a defense. Okay, we had exactly 3 warriors, so the white mana counter is going to join in. See whether Ben just goes for it. I don't see a reason why not. And Lightning Helix in hand. Okay, maybe you don't have to go for it. You can just swing and Helix.
Yeah, because he can tap the Colonnade to cast the Helix.
Yeah, he's just going to try to win
Think
right
about
now.
the previous attack is if Muller and the app started playing this has his 1 of Unsubstantiate, bounces the Snapcaster Mage after you make that attack, you go to 1 and could combo on the following turn.
Sure, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
But now if he attacks and you unsubstantiate away the Colonnade, he just Helixes with it.
It's spell or creature? It doesn't have a non-land permanent clause, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should be enough damage from Ben Nikolich. Just confirming, talking with teammate John Rosum, saying, okay, this looks good. What could he possibly have?
Right.
And decides against activating the Colonnade. Just swings for 7. It's
If
safe.
he has like a Cryptic Commander in his hand, then having that mana up is good.
Lightning Helix is going to do it. An extension of the hand there by Paul Muller. And that's going to be the match, and that will be the round. Ben Nikolich 2-0 defeats Paul Muller. With his win and John Rossum's win, that will do it. The legacy match is going to stop right there.